Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk for alive together for the first time in a very, very long time. Unfortunately, Napoli have lost against Fiorentina 3-1 at home. Actually, guys, before I start everything, just let me know if you're hearing the audio okay. For some reason, the mic isn't working perfectly, so it's using the computer audio. Let me know if it's working. It's a bit of echo. Okay. My sound is coming out twice. Let me fix that then. All right. Maybe like this, and also let me close the window. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right. Let's get started. Let's get started, guys. All right. Still echo. All right. That's weird. Let me. Maybe that one has less echo. Maybe this one has less echo. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to use this one and see if this one works. But let's see if we can try. Yes, no echo. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, sorry guys. So, as you guys know, I got my internet working now. Finally, that took forever. God, Italy, so inefficient. Then I also changed computer, so it's a whole new setup. So just bear with me. Anyways. What's worse than my setting up skills that you guys know about? It's Napoli and Garcia. Guys, what was that today? What happened after Anguissa came off? Let's just cast our mind back just 1 second. Anguissa came off in the 30th minute. Raspadori came on. I had no idea what formation we were using. That seemed to go on forever. Lobotka was basically not involved at all. And then we made 3 subs that I swear to God is a sackable offense. If I was De Laurentiis, I would have walked onto the field and literally sacked Garcia in that moment. He took off Politano, who had just done something incredible on the right wing. He was playing amazing today. He's been playing amazing all season. Well, amazing. I mean, the best that Politano can possibly play with the skill sets that nature gave him. So Politano was playing well. Then he took off Lobotka, which, I mean, Spalletti must be, if he's watching that, he must be so upset that whatever he made got destroyed like that. And then he took off Zielinski. So I don't know how you're going to get the ball forward to any striker. No, he then took off... No, Politano's taken off before. Then he took off Osimhen. Which is like... God, man, what are you doing taking off Osimhen? He was the best player along with Nathan today on the field. He wasn't tired. We literally have a break coming next. Like, we don't have another game to play. So it's not like you're trying to rest him. This is a purely tactical decision by Garcia. And I'm sorry, but if you're removing Osimhen... God, what are you doing, man? No, I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on anymore with this Napoli. Let's go. I would say let's go read some of the comments, guys. Let's go read some of the comments. Do smash that like button though, just because I need it. Guys, I need these likes. I need them not for... I don't care about the algorithm today. I need them for my mental well-being, all right? I just need to know that you guys are going with this with me, and yeah, this is like a pat on the back for every like, just for my mental health. Anyways, let's read some of your comments, guys. Hafiz Yusuf. Well, first off, Danger says Napoli Talk is back finally. Bloody do time, bro, says Jonas. Yeah, I know. I've been away for a while. Hafiz says great to see you back. Osimhen should have scored that chance. Maximus says, and of course, I miss Ospina, Kim, and KK. We'll talk about Meret. I'm planning to make a whole video on Meret, and it's not going to be like, oh, Meret sucks. I mean, I don't know how it's going to end up, right? It could end up being like that. But what I want to do is I want to objectively go over his performances with Napoli with like a fresh view, and really just try to see how many mistakes he's done, how many times he's saved us versus how many times he could have done better, and just really try to objectively go through that. What is Garcia doing to this club, says Perfect Paddock. I just want to thank Payment Dadgar. Thank you so much, man, for the £4.99 donation. Thank you for supporting the channel. Osimhen pressing alone, midfield a hold, takes best player out, has no plan. We've lost to every serious opposition. Enough is enough. Garcia out. Man, if Payman had the energy to type, the willingness in his heart to type out a longer message, he could have, because this is like 5% of the problems that we have. I mean, I'm sure, man, if you want to keep typing, you can probably list out another 20, because this team is absolutely insanely messed up right now. It's incredible, but we're going to go over exactly why. All right. And then I'm going to get to some more comments as I go over this, but I just want to actually, let me go over a few more comments. Let's see. Foxdrop says, just fire Rudy. It's ridiculous. Maximus says, once again, ref waits to hand out yellows until it doesn't matter. Paul Jurican says, Nico deserves a card for blatant disrespect. I mean, yeah, but these are not the main problems. Anthony Navarro says, hey, everyone, welcome back. Smash that like button. We should be worried about top 7. You know what? That's a great question, Anthony. I'm going to end this poll. All of you guys want Garcia out. It's pretty obvious. I'm going to make a new poll and say, where is Napoli going to finish with Garcia? All right. I'm not even going to say the title. Let's say top 4, top 6, top 8, or top 10 with a question mark, and let's see what you guys think about all this stuff. But that's a great point, Anthony, man. This is worrying. This is worse than I expected. I was expecting, honestly, as you guys know, when Garcia was appointed and I made my season predictions later, I was expecting a 3rd, 4th spot with Garcia, but this is seriously putting into question something even like that, even with so many points advantage that we had starting over these teams. If you take a look at last year. Anyways, let's go into the match analysis, guys, before we continue. All right, so what happens? We start off with Fiorentina all guns blazing. Overhead kick here, even saved by Osimhen, actually, because I don't know if Meret's gonna get there, to be honest. Saved by Osimhen, let's say on the line. Then Napoli start attacking, and Politano, it gets maybe a little bit creative here, giving the ball to Di Lorenzo. Maybe he could have taken a shot here. Definitely, it's within his repertoire to take a shot. Instead, he lays it off to Di Lorenzo, and Di Lorenzo just fails to hit the target, which is, it's unfortunate, but the angle maybe was a little bit against him. Anyways, maybe he could have crossed it. I don't know. It seems like Oliveira in the middle is a bit offside, to be honest. So, I don't know. Anyways, then we get to Fiorentina's goal, right? Cross comes in. Di Lorenzo gets found out. He's caught a little bit sleeping. The runner gets in front of him with the knee, hits the post. Meta just ball watches this ball, crosses goal. And then Jack Bonaventura, always him, scores against Napoli through the legs of Meret, 1-0 Fiorentina. God, Meret cannot be beaten from there, not through the legs, guys. This is bad. This is bad. I mean, you can try to defend them all you want, but in the end, it always feels like every time he concedes a goal, it's like, well, it's a tough shot to save or all this, but you'd think that out of 10 of those things, you would, if you are a good goalkeeper, you'd save 2 or 3. Instead, out of 10 good shots, Meret concedes always all 10 of them. I don't know. I mean, it's not so much about this individual shot that he should have saved. It's more about when is he going to save a good shot. If you take a look at them all in a sequence. Anyways, let's go to a bit more of like the tactical disaster class of Garcia, guys. Let's call it like this. I mean, this is Fiorentina attacking us. 4 attackers. They're very wide. Obviously, our defense does the right thing to stay compact. But where is our midfield? You've got 4 Fiorentina midfielders rushing into support, and you've got Lobotka just looking at them like, oh crap, I am so alone here. And rightfully so, Di Lorenzo's screaming at his team like, what are you guys doing? I've got number 77 here that I need to look after. Who's attacking the guy on the ball? Obviously, Lobotka is kind of in no man's land, trying to do as much as possible, blocking a pass down the middle. But even then, it doesn't work because he gets caught out. The pass to the middle happens anyways, and there's just way too much of a gap between the guy who receives it and our defense. And he takes a shot and it's deflected. But still, I mean, what kind of defending is this? This is incredible. This is incredible. It's really, really bad. Let's take a look at some more comments before I continue, guys. Let's go back a little bit. Awesome Comedy says Anguissa is the engine. LK says, let me break down my thoughts. Greedy Aldiel is letting coach go, letting sporting director go, which I'm 100% sure could have secured Vega, making your top players unhappy. What do you expect? Yeah, guys, I mean, we lost a lot this summer. We lost Spalletti. We lost Kim. We lost Giuntoli. And look, guys, Nathan is looking like the real deal. You guys know that I made a video in the summer and I said, guys, this guy has quality. Let's see, let's not rush to conclusions on him. And he's actually turning out to be a good player. The problem is not that Kim left. The problem is, even like we would have had these problems this year, even with Kim, because the problem is in the midfield. The problem is that the defense and attack are not linked with the midfield. If Zielinski wasn't having the season of his life, we would have been 15th, pretty much. I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, Lobotka completely taken out of the equation. We're completely exposed every time the opposition gets the ball. There's a stat, guys, of how Napoli and Fiorentina roughly share 50% possession today, except that the majority of Fiorentina's possession happened in Napoli's half, whilst over 2/3 of our possession happened in our own half. I mean, it's something ridiculous. But yeah, and also Giuntoli leaving, it's massive. It's massive. That set us back in the mercato. It made life super difficult for us. I don't think this Meluso guy who comes in is doing anything significant behind the scenes to try to help the players, to try to help Garcia. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, guys. It's really bad. Moke is saying Osimhen really needs to leave Napoli soon. The players are just becoming very selfish and they don't even give him service. Garcia tactics are very poor. Guys, it's not that the players are being selfish towards Osimhen, guys. I mean, that's not it. Osimhen, everybody wants to pass the ball to Osimhen because he's the only one that can score in this team. It's just that they're not in a position to give him a good cross or a good pass, or because of Garcia, because of the way he sets up this team. But I don't think that they don't want to pass the ball to him. I mean, that goes against their own interest, right? Everybody just wants to win the game. So, let's not think about it as this player or that player. I mean, this is clearly the coaching, the way that the team is set up that's not working. Laurenti though is saying Nathan looking good at least. Svendan is saying Kvara is not in form. What is the problem with him? It's not even that. It's that whenever he receives the ball, he receives it. He's completely isolated from his teammates. He receives it way too far back. By the time he gets anywhere near the box, he's already done, 30 meters? So that's like 90 feet. He's already tired. The defense has had time to get on top of him, and he's just way less effective. Georgie saying Meret is a normal goalkeeper, not good, not bad. Yeah. Let's go. Continue with the analysis, guys. All right. So I mean, here for example, Napoli had a great chance to equalize. Politano with a very interesting pass, I must say, picking out Kvara there. I don't know how he managed to pick that one out, but he's playing well. And then maybe Kvara last year would have found a special way to score it. This year, I don't know what it is. He's not. I know he scored. He's not there yet. Kind of screws up a little bit. The ball goes to Oliveira, who's offside by a mile. I mean, I hated how Oliveira played today. And so the goal that we eventually score here is disallowed, rightly. But, I mean, Fiorentina, guys, they came out to attack Napoli. Look at this, right? Look at how deep Lobotka has to take the ball. You've got him in between the two Napoli center backs, in between Ostigard and Nathan, with Lobotka playing a deep lying center. Like, he's not even a defensive mid at this point. He's a defensive center back when we are trying to build the play. And he's so deep that it makes it impossible for him to link up with the midfielders. The only people he can link up to is his own center backs or Meret. So that's not great. And Fiorentina just pressed them all the way back, right? And forced them to pass the ball to Meret. I mean, this would have never happened with Spalletti. No way. This is such a negative way to play football, to be honest. To basically have your best playmaking player try to dictate play from his own box. I mean, it's ridiculous, guys. But he managed a few minutes later to go forward in a very rare occasion and had a decent shot on goal saved. The problem, I say, with a lot of Napoli's shots is that they tend to be very central. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like whenever we are in a position like that, we always tend to shoot right at the goalkeeper. So not ideal, but hey, at least Lobotka got himself forward a little bit. And then this is when the game for me, this is when the game ended. Not because Anguissa is the best player ever. It's literally that when he came off and Raspadori came on, I had just no idea what Napoli was doing, how we were playing. It just made absolutely no sense to me at all. I didn't know what shape we were. Was it a 4-2-3-1? Maybe. Do you guys know? I don't know. It just seemed totally random to me. And you had a situation where, it was a 4-2-3-1 with Lobotka and Zielinski playing as, let's say, more defensive midfielders. And this is the type of thing that we have to see, which Fiorentina is attacking. And it's Zielinski making a last-ditch tackle, sliding tackle, to intercept the pass, which would otherwise set Fiorentina through on goal. Now, this is good defending from Zielinski, but when have we ever seen Zielinski defend like this with Spalletti? This is not how you want to be utilizing Zielinski. You want somebody else to be doing this work so that Zielinski can do more attacking type of work, not wasting energy here. So, this team is just a complete mess at the moment. And for those of you like Osam who are asking, well, is is Garcia likely to be sacked? I don't know. I mean, Napoli came out with a statement on their website right now that said Fiorentina wins in the ninth at the Maradona. It's a dark night for Napoli. I mean, this is a dark night for Napoli is you know, if your own club is writing stuff like that on their websites, I mean, Garcia can't resist this. And for everyone that's saying, oh, but we played so well against Real Madrid, but okay, guys, Real Madrid. Here's what happened against Real Madrid. Ancelotti is a bad manager. Okay, we've experienced that here in Napoli. The way he wins games is that he relies on individual moments of brilliance by guys like Bellingham, by guys like Valverde, by guys like Vini Jr. I mean, I could coach that team. And I'm not saying I'd be as good as Ancelotti, but I mean, come on. Like I would get them top 4 in La Liga. So when we play against teams that don't have a super strong team identity, then we can still play well, right? Because we've also got some individual talents that are good. But as soon as we're up against a team that is organized, that is coached well, such as Thiago Motta's Bologna, Gilardino's Genoa, Fiorentina, Italiano's Fiorentina, these are teams that are coached well. They're tight. They know what to do. They know when to press. They know when to attack. They know when to defend. When we're up against these teams, boy, do we struggle. And against this Fiorentina side, which is both coached well and has also some very good individual talents, well, then of course you're going to lose. You know, that's the mix that's going to make us lose. So, yeah, I mean, this Fiorentina side, in theory, is more dangerous for us than Real Madrid, because I don't think Real Madrid has a very strong team identity. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. The question says that we need Chucky. Man, we need a new coach. We need a coach that actually knows what he's doing. But yeah. Danger says, guys, hit the like button for Dom and Napoli Talk, please. Yes, 92 current viewers right now, 48 likes. We got to pump up those numbers, guys. Every like you smash is a signal to Napoli to fire Garcia. All right, let's do it like that. No, but yeah, guys, I need these likes. As I said, they're like a tap on the back for me. Not so much to say, oh, you did a good job, but just so that I, get over this result, and it's just like, hey, I'm here with you. I'm here with you, Dom. We're in this together. All right. Now, I mean, when Napoli attacked, we were pretty wasteful, right? I mean, here there's a chance Di Lorenzo crosses the ball. I mean, I don't know. We just seem to lack a bit of quality as well with some of our final passing. A lot of crosses this year are just not finding their target. Something's off with just the way that we time our runs, it seems. Last year, it was just a lot more fluid. This year, it seems like everybody's, like the engine is just not running everything at the same speed. There's some people that are just out of tune with each other. It's like a badly run orchestra. Everybody's got these great instruments, but like the flute's on like a minor and the guitar is on a major. I don't know. I never did music in my life, right? But that's how I envision it, right? Everybody's just doing their own thing. It's just not cohesive. And then let's talk about Oliveira a little bit and how he's a bad left back in my opinion. Kind of tired of him, to be honest, this season. Here you've got Fiorentina playing like a little 1-2, and then Oliveira, I think he misses the thing that actually the whole point of this 1-2 is for the guy that's on the right wing to get the ball and he's just late to react to that situation. He's following. I think it was Duncan. Maybe I don't know. It's too zoomed out to see. Far too deep. Then allows the guy on the ball too much time to cross it, and it's just always like that. It just always felt like Fiorentina had so much time and space on that right hand side to cross the ball. I mean, that's how they scored the first goal. Crossed it from the right. That's how they scored, or that's how they were dangerous here as well. Just way too much time and space, and it shouldn't really be like that when it's not even a counterattack. Like they shouldn't have this much space to cross the ball. And the other annoying thing, which some of you guys pointed out, was the fact that Osimhen today was pressing completely by himself. I mean, this was a very obvious thing that Fiorentina were doing, that they were passing from one center back to the goalkeeper to the other center back. And I mean, Politano should be pressing along with Osimhen, right? I mean, and I can see why Osimhen was frustrated today. Yeah, but I mean, it's not just Politano, right? Like, he can't press alone. It has to be the whole team. But I mean, think about how deep Napoli's playing. If Politano is right there, imagine how far back Lobotka is. Imagine how far back our defenders are. Last year, guys, we were right on these guys. We were pushed up. I mean, the position that you see Politano is probably where our center backs were last year. Guys, little 2-second break. I'm gonna grab some water. One sec. All right, yeah. So, what were we saying about the pressing, right? the, the pressing was depressing. All right, that's what it was today. The pressing was completely depressing. But yeah, I mean, Osimhen was doing this alone. We were way too stretched out. No good, no bueno, right? And then obviously, yeah, the referee had a few, I think, fouls that he didn't call for Napoli. This one was easily a penalty. I mean, Osimhen, eyes on the ball, gets completely clattered from the back. How is this not a penalty? How is this not even looked at by the referee? I will never know. And then luckily, Fiorentina make a mistake and Osimhen pounces because, guys, if anything, Osimhen today was so on it. He was fired up. He was sniffing the danger. Every single possible danger he sniffed, he was on it. Pounced on that loose ball and got us a penalty, which he scored. He celebrated. I mean, it seems like today, at least he cared, was having fun, and it was great to see. All right, before we continue with the second half, let me continue with the reading some of the comments here. Storm official says, "Godiamo Forza Viola." The reason why you guys lose the mastermind of the manager of Vincenzo Italiano, and he's smart. We're actually build the most famous sports center in Europe, says Storm official. I guess he's a Fiorentina fan, and then says game over, which is, yeah. I mean, fair enough. They did play better, and yeah, I mean, maybe he's got a point. Maybe this is game over. Shame about the result, but so good to see you back, says V.H. It's good to be back, to speak to you guys. I wish it was under better circumstances, but it is what it is. Antonio Tonti says, team is sitting on last year's laurels. I don't even think that's it, man. I don't even think it's the team. I think they just don't know what they're doing in the middle of the field. We're just not organized. I don't think that there's a lack of effort. I think there's honestly just a lack of, like, someone directing them, to be honest. Arsene Lubin says, we also have no sub for Di Lorenzo as well, which is a big problem. It's starting to seem obvious to me. They're starting to feel the fatigue of playing every single game for full 90. I mean, in theory, we do. In theory, we have Zanoli, who we tried so much to keep this summer, and he's not had a single minute. Which is, the way Garcia is managing these players is another thing that we need to think about. I mean, for me, for example, Nathan is playing so well right now. He's literally been one of our best players, there's no way that, and since the first day that he came on, right? There's no way that he was a zero before, and then the first time he plays, he's like great, right? I mean, that's not the kind of thing that happens. If he's great now, it probably means that he was at least good or decent when the season started. And yet we had to endure 5 games with Juan Jesus. I mean, why? Elmas is not playing, and when he does play, it's in a weird position. Raspadori, I don't know what's happening with his position. Lindstrom seems like I don't even know. It's bad. It's bad. Anyways, let's go to the second half, guys. Second half, Fiorentina start well. Even though maybe we had a bit more possession, they were more dangerous. They hit the post within the first 5 minutes. And yeah, I guess the only positive thing that we can say about our defensive approach is that Nathan is doing well. A few very good tackles, very well timed. This is the only positive I can take out of this, is that I don't feel like Kim leaving is the reason why this is happening. You know, I mean, it gives me reassurance that the reason that we're playing bad is because of Garcia and not because we're missing a player. Because at least now we know that it's like a targeted thing that we need to fix, and it's not just like, oh, we have a million problems, our coach is bad, our defenders are bad. No, like, it's targeted. It's just the coach. Just fix that one thing, please. All right, and then we have to talk about some of the bad decisions that we had in attack. For example, here, right, we've got this situation where Politano has the ball, Oliveira's making a run down the left, and Kvara's waiting for a pass in the middle, right? And it's so important, guys, that when you pass the ball, you pass it accurately. And accurately does not just mean a completed pass. It means that you put the right weight and it goes on the right foot of the person. This is something that Johan Cruyff used to say. He said, everybody can pass the ball. The difficult thing is passing the ball at the right speed, with the right weight, on the person's correct foot. The problem with some of the stats websites and platforms and all that is that if Politano passes the ball to Kvara with the blue arrow or with the green arrow, it counts both of them as a pass, as a forward pass as well. The problem is there's a very big difference between the green arrow and the blue arrow. The blue arrow forces Kvara to turn his back. Even though it's a forward pass, it forces Kvara to turn his back, and it just slows everything down. If he passed it with the green arrow, it's in the run of Kvara, and it would have set him up for a shot. Guess what Politano does? He passes it along the blue arrow. And there you see, Kvara now, he had to turn his back and is forced to take a shot from this position instead of being launched into the space. And these are the details that we need to talk about also when we analyze games and when we analyze players. And this is also why I'm against a lot of these platforms that give player ratings and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's annoying because this could have been a goal, could have been 2-1, but anyways, it happened. This is another chance here again. This is Oliveira this time. He's cutting inside. He has 2 options. If he would only be more spatially aware instead of looking down, he can play the ball to Zielinski, or he can spot the run of Osimhen and play him into the space. What does he do? He plays the ball to Zielinski. So again, this will count for Oliveira as a good pass on SofaScore or whatever. This is a horrible pass, in my opinion, if you give it to Zielinski here. The only thing that a decent player should be doing at this point is playing the ball into the channel. Anything else, you don't deserve to play at this level. So, yeah, I mean, just bad decisions. Just bad decisions all around, guys. Right. As I said, though, the only player that was actually making runs, pressing, was Osimhen. He had this great chance here from a Fiorentina throw-in, recovers the ball with his pressing. But look how deep, guys, forget about Osimhen's pressing. Look how deep every other Napoli player is. None of them actually support Osimhen's run. Everybody's kind of just ball watching him do it. If Osimhen hadn't recovered this ball, the Fiorentina player would have passed it to the center back that you see along the edge of the halfway line, and nobody would have pressed that guy. We are just sitting so deep. It's embarrassing. Where is the pressing of this Napoli team as a unit? Thankfully, Osimhen is a bit of a monster, and he's able to recover this ball. And he has a shot on goal, but the Fiorentina keeper, Tatarusanu, is quick off his line, closes the angle, makes it difficult for Osimhen, and he makes the save. Now, I wonder, Meret, if he would have saved this. If he would have come out of that 6-yard box, probably he would have stayed within the 6-yard box and not closed the angle enough. Here we're talking about Tatarusanu. I mean, he is a Milan second choice goalkeeper reject. And he's pulled off a very good save when the score is 1-1 to save Fiorentina. How many times can we say that about Meret? We can probably say that 4 or 5 times in a season. Most goalkeepers do it once or twice per game. I've yet to... it's been 10 games this season. I still don't know. I can't remember anything that Meret's done this season that has stood out for me positively. So, yeah. Sunnable Flame says Osimhen should have chipped this ball. Yeah, I mean, maybe he should. I mean, it's not really something in Osimhen's repertoire. I don't want to focus too much on Osimhen's miss here. It's not about that. What I wanted to focus more is actually how this illustrates a weakness in our goalkeeper, because this is a great save by Tatarusanu, and something that maybe our goalkeeper wouldn't have done. As Osam Comedy says, Meret is just not ready. And Super Alexander says, last season Meret was lucky we were pressing all the time. Yeah, Meret last year, he made 2 or 3 very important saves, like the ones against Milan, the penalty saves and all that, but he wasn't tested very much throughout the season. Right, let's move forward. Again, here we see Oliveira not helping out Nathan at all. This is, by the way, a minute before we concede a goal. So basically, how did we concede a goal? We had the ball. We lost the ball because we weren't able to put 5 passes together, and Fiorentina recovered the ball and they score. But why were we not able to put 5 passes together? Because look at the position of our player. Lobotka's too deep. He's playing as an extra center back in our construction. Something that Fiorentina never did today, by the way. Oliveira hidden behind a Fiorentina midfielder. Zielinski, 3 people on him in case he receives the ball. And if he receives the ball, who's he going to pass it to? He can pass it to Kahuste, but he would have to make sure that he receives the ball facing the ball, is able to turn around with 3 players on him and then make a 15-yard pass to Kahuste. I mean, it's just not realistic. There's no triangles for him to play. So yeah, it's shambolic. Nathan does his best here. Eventually, though, we don't lose the ball here, but a few passes later. But I mean, the principle is always the same. It's like just super difficult to find a good pass. And Fiorentina get the ball. They go through the middle of us. Oliveira gets, I guess, an unlucky rebound straight to, I guess, Bonaventura, I think it is, who puts it past Meret. And maybe here Meret, there's nothing he can do. But again, we're always talking about, there's nothing Meret can do. And it's like, as I said before, 20 times out of 20 times that he concedes a goal, yes, maybe they're all good shots, maybe they're all difficult to save, but a good goalkeeper will save at least 2 or 3 of those. Maybe not this one specifically, but maybe the one before, maybe the one after. Just statistically speaking, he would save 2 or 3 shots, even though they're good. Meret, if it's a good shot, no chance of him saving it. It's just the way it is. Every decent shot, it's a goal. And then here again, we're talking about the decisions that we take going forward. Here, Raspadori gets the ball pulled back to him. He could shoot it, green arrow, on goal, or pass it to Simeone, who's behind the defender, blue arrow. What does he do? He decides to pass it. Man, take a shot. Yeah. Gaetano here, Kvara on the left, great action. He dribbled so much today. He tried his best. I mean, you can't fault the players for trying. I mean, they're trying. Kvara tried dribbling so much. Actually, he was on the right side at this point because, again, we don't know why. Lindstrom came on the field, was put on the right side. 2 minutes later, was put on the left side. Complete confusion by Garcia. Anyways, Kvara pulls the ball back to Gaetano. Gaetano shoots. It's wide. And then Fiorentina finally score on the counter in the final minute. And yeah, this is Osimhen's reaction. So it's justified. It's a very justified reaction. And these are my... I put Napoli 3-1 to Fiorentina. This is wishful thinking. Let me change that, guys. I mean... I wish it was 3-1, man. I wish it was 1. See, I got the 2 clubs messed up. So let me just fix that, all right? How do I fix this now? 1 sec. This is why I need more time to prepare these streams. Let me put Fiorentina here. All right. Put Fiorentina. Sorry, guys, about this. And then I actually don't have the Napoli logo saved on this computer. But we will sort that out in like 3 seconds. So let me put that Napoli logo on there. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. At least you guys get to see a little bit of how long some of these things take. All right, there we go. Yeah, this is just gonna have to. It's not pretty, but it's gonna have to be like this. All right, cool. All right, so that's how it goes. All right. Let's see. Let's read some of your comments. Valerie says Kvara is 7.5 at least. I feel like 7.5 you need to, for an attacking player, you need to have assisted or scored. You could say, though, that maybe it's because of the people around him that he didn't assist or score, and he did try a lot. But I think 7's good, like there's a lot of, I think, people that join the channel maybe also a bit later and think that 7's like a bad score. 7 is like very good. And this is like the Italian school system. Like if this is like the equivalent of a B plus pretty much. I think that a 10 is almost impossible. A 9 A 9.5 means like you scored a hat trick. A 9 is like you scored twice. An 8, 8.5 means you scored and probably assisted. Like a 7 means you had a good game, but maybe you just failed to, have an impact. I mean, not that he didn't have an impact, but you failed to affect the scoreline, maybe. So yeah. 7 is right, but not himself this season, saying as his big fan to Super Alexander. Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough on Kvara and Osimhen and these guys, because I think that whenever they receive the ball now, they receive it in positions that are not ideal for them. They're maybe too far back, and then they have to make a lot of progress with the ball, and it tires them a bit more. And I remember last season, it was just whenever they got the ball, it was much closer to the box. And the way that they got the ball, everything was moving much faster, which made it more difficult for the defenders to react. So then when they got the ball, they had a bit more space. It's difficult. It's difficult. But let's talk about two good players today. Osimhen and Nathan. Nathan has been doing great. Very good tackles. At least he gave us something to cheer about in defense. Osimhen was fantastic. Scored the penalty, took that responsibility, celebrated, pressed like a madman. Yeah, very good. Very good, Osimhen. Politano, like Kvara, very good creative moments, a lot of effort, but just like, man, like we need that goal, we need that assist, we need something concrete that we can get behind to get a higher score. The midfield and the rest of the defense and the subs just bad. The goalkeeper bad. No one really had a good impact from the bench. Cajuste was all right, nothing crazy though. Oliveira, bad choices, out of position, doesn't give you anything going forward, because he gets to these forward positions and then he doesn't know how to score. He doesn't really know how to cross that well. He can't pick out a pass. It seems like every time he always just passes the ball backwards. Yeah, Di Lorenzo got caught for the first goal. Didn't do much going forward. Meret, yeah, I mean, this is 4.5 is more just like, not so much for this game, but it's more just like, dude, come on, give me something every once in a while. This is more of a reflection of maybe his season, of why hasn't this guy saved us at any point this season, rather than just thinking about this game in particular. And yeah, Ostigard 6, I mean, there's nothing really that he could have done for the goals, I don't think, but a few missed passes, a few things that he could have improved at. I don't know. Let's see. The question says, PSV is at first place now, which is something that can't be said about your garbage team. I think the question is talking about the fact that Lozano is playing well with PSV, and man, it's too easy to say, we're not missing Lozano. Like, Politano is playing much better than himself or Lozano have been playing in the last 3 or 4 seasons. Much better, Politano. So the problem is not in our attack. The problem is our midfield and our tactics. I would rate Anguissa 6, says Danger. I mean, yeah, but he came off after 30 minutes. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, that's the player ratings. What I want to do now is I want to go over Rudy's press conference. That's going to be an interesting one. If he's showed up to a press conference, yeah, he has. I'm surprised Napoli didn't tell him to go home yet. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's see what Garcia had to say at the zone. He says there's a lot of frustration. It's a bad result. The first goal we should have never conceded. The penalty before the break should have given us a bit more fire. But we had a great chance to double the score. And then for Fiorentina's third goal, we were all forward trying to attack and score the equalizer, and that's why they scored. It's not good to be so soft and not aggressive on our defensive line. When you lose and you only do 4 fouls against the other team, it means that something's not quite right. So Garcia is saying that we're not aggressive enough as a team. The problem is, man, it's not about aggressivity. Like, oh my God, Garcia, what are you saying? Look at this, Garcia, my guy. Okay, how can Napoli be aggressive here when we're not even close to the ball? If Di Lorenzo or Lobotka try to be aggressive and make a foul, that means that they open up so much space behind them. The problem is that you haven't set up the team to cover these spaces for them to be aggressive. First, we need to be in the right position. Then we can be aggressive, not the other way around. Oh my God, man, this guy is horrible. Jesus. I don't know why he still has a job. They ask him what hasn't worked, and he says on the pressing, we had to be a bit more lucid in trying to find Osimhen. But we weren't able to take advantage of the space that Fiorentina left behind. Then Anguissa got injured and we changed our idea of the game. But we have to improve a lot with with helping out our midfielders and wide players. With the entrance of fresh players, it went a little better, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't our day. It was a bad day. So Garcia says that after Anguissa came off, 30 minutes into the game, he abandoned his approach, which for me it's ridiculous because you've got Cahoust who could have. You're basically saying that at that point you're basically saying that Cahoust is not able to play a 4-3-3. That if you have to take Anguissa off, then the 4-3-3 is gone. So what are we supposed to do when Anguissa goes to the African Cup of Nations for a month? No more 4-3-3? So then you're saying that we didn't buy enough players or the right players or what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Valerie says, Napoli talk, I see the only problem with our team is De Laurentiis being greedy in the summer and not paying for good players. Yeah, it's true. He thought that 20 goal, that 20 point lead that we had last season, maybe getting Garcia would have reduced that by maybe 10 points and the team was good enough to keep up that kind of gap. But man, that's not how it works. No, you need to buy players that are motivated, new players for new ideas. You need to get a better coach. Like, this is bad. We're gonna finish like 30 points off of what we had last season, which is crazy. Anthony G says, Jesus, forgot about AFCON. That's gonna be absolutely brutal. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be an absolute nightmare. AFCON. I don't know why that tournament is in the middle of the season. Like, it's super unfair. And I think let's open a new parenthesis that has nothing to do with Napoli, but I think it's hurting these players because I think there's a lot of clubs that will consider that when if you're stuck between buying a player that will go to AFCON and a player that will not participate in AFCON, and these two players are of the same quality, they cost the same, they have the same salary, of course you're going to go for the player that is not going to go to AFCON because you're just going to have him for a month longer in the season, right? So I mean, this is a competition that I think hurts the players, and their chances to go to like get better deals and all that. And of course, obviously, it hurts the clubs that they play for. Um, and yeah, I don't know what Napoli is going to do because they're so important to us. Osimhen and Anguissa, they're they're the most important players that we have, uh, almost. So yeah, this it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Oh my god, guys, yeah, I should be coach. I should be coach of this now. But anybody can be a better coach than Garcia. Any one of us could do better. I did coach one game for my university. No, two games for my university team a few months ago. Lost both. So yeah, the ref he didn't see many fouls. Anyways, moving on. Um, let's go to his press conference, right? His because that was an interview with That Zone. That was an interview with That Zone, and then this is like the formal press conference. And let's see what he says. I'm just gonna drink of water first. And he says, "Okay, we were in difficulty starting to play from the back, and we were not very lucid to find Victor, who was always 1v1. Bad night for us. We didn't have much energy. We needed more aggressivity. We didn't have blah, blah, blah. We didn't have this. We didn't have that. Blaming it on energy and all these kind of things. I didn't expect this. It was a difficult first half. We got a goal that we shouldn't have conceded. We didn't suffer much under pressure, but the goal really hurt us. We started well the second half. We almost scored the second, but their goalkeeper made a good save. Now we conceded a goal, yeah, then that was that. They asked him, "Are you worried?" And he says, "No. We will analyze why this happened. I expected a stronger reaction from the players. We lost too many balls. There's some days that you are less with less energy, or you play less well, but you have to compensate it with other things. And today we didn't do it." Then they ask him, "Well, against every tough opponent, you've lost every single game," and he says, "We'll see in the future what happens. On Tuesday, it wasn't right for us to lose, but we will show you that we can win against tougher opposition." The journalists note that the fans booed the team and maybe Garcia at the final whistle, and he says they have every right not to be happy in a game that's so important. We're all mad. We expected to do well and we didn't do it. We have to win at Verona. We have to go back into the top four positions, which are now owned. The top four, there's Fiorentina in there. And then they ask him, "Can you explain the substitutions?" And he says, "Well, looking back, everybody can do winning substitutions. When you lose Anguissa and you're losing the game, it seems logical to put a more offensive player to score a goal. But no, man, like, jeez, we still had 15 minutes in the first half, plus 5 stoppage time, plus the whole second half. So we had more than an hour to play. And it was already like Garcia was panicking. Like, if you change from a 4-3-3, which is what this team has been playing for a decade, to a 4-2-3-1 that they don't like, they don't know how to play, because you're worried about the fact that you're losing 1-0. I mean, dude, you still have an hour left to play. Like, calm down. You should be confident enough in your formation that you can score 2 goals with it. You can maybe start thinking about making this kind of change when it's the 60th, 70th minute and maybe you still haven't scored. Then it's like, okay, we gave it an hour. now let's try to change something, but not on the 30th minute. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's Garcia, guys. I don't know. Let's see what Di Lorenzo had to say, right? Di Lorenzo says, surely we're not able to give a lot of continuity to our results and our performances. We came from 2 consecutive wins in Serie A and we wanted to do a third, but we weren't able to. We're disappointed that now we have the break, and it's not good to go to the break with this kind of results. We have to put more pressure, and we have to go back to playing the football that we know how to play. And then Politano was super upset for his substitution, so they asked him about that, and Di Lorenzo says, surely these are the type of things, the type of behaviors that we need to avoid. Obviously, at this moment, when the results are not going our way, they are more highlighted than in other times, but we have to have respect for the coach and for whoever is substituted on. But it's something that we will fix in the dressing room. And right now, there's too many that are happening, and it's not okay. So yeah, I mean, it's true, right? Like Kvara did it, Osimhen did it, and now even someone like Politano, who's, I mean, if maybe Kvara and Osimhen could have been slightly justified because they're in the top 10 players of the world and whatnot. I mean, if a guy like Politano does it as well, then there's a problem, right? And Politano is not a young guy like Osimhen or like Kvara. I mean, he's 30. Like he needs to be more mature. And Di Lorenzo says, yeah, we've got this group of players that are called like the wise men, that basically have that Garcia appointed to be like his group of 4 or 5 players that he discusses things with. And he says, if from the outside it seems we give the impression that we're not united, that's actually not true. It's just a very delicate moment because we're not playing very well or getting the right results. But we are united. So that's Di Lorenzo, guys. Anyways, oh man, that's Di Lorenzo. Yeah, it's just disappointing, man. It's just disappointing. Lorenzo Libuti says Ligma would be a better coach. I know where that joke's going. Blue Line says losing the ball during the build-up from the defenders to be in danger to receive goals is really bad. This happened in 2 matches against Real today. This problem should be solved. Danger says Garcia was angry as Fiorentina scored goal and was panicking already there. Yeah, guys, it was a bad display. It was a bad result. But yeah, and as you guys know from the player ratings, it was bad. It was bad. There's a few players that I'm just really surprised about, like Lindstrom, guys. We have to have a discussion about him because out of the players that came this summer, if you think about it, Nathan, Kahust, and Lindstrom is the only one that we actually knew very well. Plays in the Bundesliga, in a good team, played the Champions League, is a starter for Denmark. Like, he should have been the guy that replaced Lozano, that was challenging Politano. And it seems like maybe he's the worst of the 3 signings for now. So something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. But yeah, I mean, obviously this it's not a Lindstrom issue, right? But definitely something's weird, guys. Elmas is not playing. Elmas, these type of games last year were the ones that he would come on and get an assist or score, and he's not coming on. And when he comes on, he's out of position. I mean, why couldn't Elmas come on for Anguissa and play in midfield? I know it's not his best position, but he's done it before, even with Spalletti. It would have been the safest thing to do. If not Elmas, Kahus did, but Raspadori for Anguissa, man, that's wild. That's wild. Anyways, guys, it's been nice chatting with you guys again. But we gotta go now. We gotta go. It's time. I know that Garcia's gotta go, but we gotta go as well. It's past midnight here, and we gotta do what we gotta do, which is sleep, and try to just forget about Napoli, because otherwise we're never gonna fall asleep. We're just gonna be like rolling in our beds, thinking, "What is Garcia doing? Why did he do this?" And that actually happened after the Genoa game. I actually couldn't sleep after one of these games. I just was thinking, what was he doing with that substitution? I can't remember though. It was bad. Anyways, guys, it was great. It was great to be back with the lives. I'll get the mic working next time because I think the audio is coming straight from the computer. So no bueno. But yeah, guys, try to have fun in these days without Napoli. We'll see you guys, I guess, in 2 weeks with the lives. And I guess between then, what I'll try to do is make a video either on Garcia or on, I don't know, on Meret or what happened to Elmas or Lindstrom, or I don't know. There's so many different talking points. I'll pick one and try to make a video. But until then, I guess try to think as little as possible about Napoli. Anyways, guys, have a good one. And as always, even if we lost, Forza Napoli sempre. Ciao.